Hello, folks. Welcome to a special edition and a special report straight from Social Media News Live. I've got Katie Fox here with me from eCam. We've got some exciting things to talk about today, and I guess maybe introduce to our audience two special people. So why don't you explain a little bit about this contest and how it happened and where we're at in the process, Katie?
Oh my goodness. Well, this is really exciting. So if you're watching on the eCam channels, you probably know this by now. But if you're watching over as part of the Social Media News Live crew, welcome. We have been running for the last pretty tight timeline, actually, probably the last month or so, a contest that we call Content Launchpad. It's the beginning of what we hope will be an annual program. And the idea behind it is to really give people the opportunity to submit to us their show video project idea, and we are going to spend an entire year bringing that show to life with one lucky winner. So we cast our nets far and wide, and we received all kinds of absolutely incredible proposals from all different people from all over the place, from all different experience levels and industries. And we've narrowed it all the way down to 5 finalists. And so we did screen test interviews with them earlier this week on ENN. And we have 2 incredible finalists left here today for Jeff and I to run through the paces.
That's right. So, and what was the original submissions? Wasn't it 100? Oh, I just lost. Did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there you are. There you are. So how many did we start with, from the submissions,
we had about
over 100?
No, we had about 50. Again,
okay.
So we're announcing the final winner at Creator Camp, and we launched this idea later than probably we would have liked. The window was pretty tight, but we did get 50 awesome submissions in, and we've kind of gone through. This is the 3rd round of judging, so we've gone through 2 other rounds where we've taken everyone's input and watched a ton of videos and read through all these proposals, and now we are down to our final 5.
Yeah. So should we bring them on and introduce them? Are you ready for this? So
yeah,
let's do it. Okay, here they are, folks.
Welcome.
What's up, fam?
We have Liz and we have Adam, and I am actually not going to introduce them because I want for them to give an overview of who they are and the proposal that they submitted. So an elevator pitch of sorts. Should we start with Adam?
Sure. Let's go with you, Adam. So explain kind of why you were the best person expert to make this content and win this contest.
Hey, thanks, Jeff and Katie and Liz. Welcome. Congratulations also, and to the other 3 finalists as well. My name's Adam Contos. I'm on a mission to give 1 million people leadership training. Why? Because it's the answer to feeling stuck, burnt out, and overwhelmed in your job. And frankly, we don't get enough leadership training in society today. Why am I the best person for this? Well, I'm a 2-time college dropout turned CEO of the global public company Remax. I spent 20 years there. Leadership helped me grow through being a college dropout. I was a SWAT team commander before I started at Remax. I learned leadership there. But ultimately, I wanted to teach other people leadership so they could solve problems and improve their lives and livelihoods. Really, we don't have enough of that in today's society. I call it the leadership gap, and I'm here to fill that gap by teaching 1 million people leadership training.
Awesome. Liz,
so cool.
Explain your proposal and what you want to, why you should win this contest.
What's up, fam? I'm Liz Wilcox, the Fresh Princess of strategies to creators so they can actually make money with email. My proposal is the email sound booth, and think of it like the Breakfast Club or perhaps Late Night with Colbert meets smart passive income. It's sort of this video podcast variety show where we come together and we don't just learn email marketing, we learn it in a way that we can actually take it and do it. So this show will have several segments, just like the Breakfast Club or a late night show, where we're going to come in, we're going to talk about emails that are working right now in many different industries. That's why I'm the one to, spearhead this show with eCam's help, is because I work with and talk to a lot of different industries and niches, and I do it in such a simple way. So like the Breakfast Club has Donkey of the Day, where and what you should be using instead, things like that. And like my competitor here, I forgot his name, Adam. Is that it? I'm sorry, y'all. I am so nervous. I am so nervous. I want this so bad. I am also on a mission to help creators actually make money, stop wasting time, actually make money, do the dang thing so they can keep creating, make a living, and live a life they love.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. Two incredible proposals. Thank you so much. I know we put you on the spot with this last minute pop-up interview, so we really appreciate.
You there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
This is so much fun with the live video. It's just amazing. Yes, this is what happens, folks. One of the things you're going to have to learn when you do live video, that tech stuff happens. So do you have a question? I mean, you have some questions, Katie, for Adam. Let's just kind of go back and forth. Let's kind of, you start, and then we'll kind of go back and forth between the two.
Absolutely. All right, Adam, first question for you. You mentioned that leadership training can solve many problems, including burnout and feeling stuck in your job. How will your leadership content be structured to engage viewers and offer practical takeaways?
Well, leadership doesn't happen on a one-time basis. It happens on an all-the-time basis. And I've been teaching leadership really since the beginning of COVID, for that matter. I was on live broadcasts in my basement in Remax studios, going around the world because people were wondering what's going to happen in their world, in their life. And ultimately, it boils down to, how do we reinforce the human skills that we have to connect with our customers, to connect with our coworkers, connect with our employers, in order to be recognized as a leader, grow our businesses, grow ourselves, and frankly, help our relationships and grow our families and our friendships. So the leadership structure is, I wrote a book about this actually called Start With a Win. There are multiple components to leadership, everything from emotional intelligence, where you get down to the empathetic aspect, the 3 A's: awareness of self, awareness of others, and awareness of your business, and how those tie together. You get into employee engagement. You get into enterprise thinking, where we think about me, we, and thee of the company, and how do we help our company make more money to help everybody else make more money within that, and help the customers for that matter. So ultimately, it boils down to, I've got an extensive structure. I've been teaching this to MBA students over the past couple of years, because MBAs are not teaching enough leadership, by the way, in higher education. And it helped me grow my career. So everything's laid out structurally. I have an online course, 9.5 weeks, that I can lead people into if they'd like to jump into that higher education of leadership. But ultimately, there are millions of little bits of leadership that we all should be learning and talking about on a weekly basis and sharing with others, because leaders build leaders. That's what we do. And that will help us all grow in all these aspects of our lives.
Gotcha. Well, once again, email problems with tech. Katie has left the building. I'm sure she'll be back. But Liz, I want to throw it to you. And you had mentioned at the beginning of your kind of your spiel at the start of the show that you want to do it like the Breakfast Club. So can you, because you want to revolutionize how creators approach email marketing, and you want to use the Breakfast Club as your example, can you talk us through a little bit how you envision this will happen? And I also believe you said it was going to be a daily show. Is that true that you're kind of planning?
Yeah, but Jon Stewart won't be there, just Liz Wilcox.
Okay, gotcha.
So I envision Monday through Friday, under an hour, maybe 30 minutes, especially to start. We've got a year. We don't have to start big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not familiar with the Breakfast Club, it literally is an radio show that's filmed, in the booth, so to speak. And you can Google it right now on the side tab. And it's a few hosts, and there's lots of different segments. And they're all talking about the hip hop culture, right? In the same way that the Breakfast Club brought Black culture and hip hop culture to the mainstream and made it, not only acceptable, but relevant. That's what I want to do with the email sound booth. So I envision not just myself on the show, I could listen to myself talk all day, but I actually want to help people, right?
Yeah.
And so I envision the start of the show being me and my admin assistant, this is something my audience is already accustomed to. They love when Patricia and I banter. This is going to set up the run of the show. Perhaps with Ecamm's help, we could even have, maybe not Katie because her internet seems to suck, but someone else from the Ecamm fam in the show, right? And we're teaching them about email. They're part of the conversation. The same way the Breakfast Club really involves the audience in the conversation, has segments where you can call in, etc. I envision the email sound booth doing the same. We could have a segment where, like a featured Friday, right? The email sound booth, we're going to play on that music theme. And so we could have a featured Friday, the same way people are featured in songs. I'm going to feature a member of the audience where they can come in and talk about what's working for them. Remember, I mentioned I really, really, really want to involve all different industries. That's what I'm really good at. Business to consumer is often ignored in the email marketing industry. So we're bringing on these other content creators and, sharing what's working for them and then workshopping what's not working. So they're getting a little taste every single week of, hey, this is what's working out there in the real world. Oh, these problems, they're having the same problems as me. This is great. That's going to drive engagement. It's going to drive viewership, and it's going to drive more and more people to the show. So that's how I envision, taking what the Breakfast Club is doing with hip hop culture, bringing it into the creator culture to make email marketing more relevant today.
Awesome. There's Katie. She's back. Oh, way to go. I do want to, this is a great comment by Rich. He goes, I thought we were going to be in detention like the movie Breakfast Club. So he was confused. I actually was too. So there you go.
Same. We're all, we're dating ourselves.
Yes, I know.
We're all like,
so,
yeah, the Breakfast Club. I got it.
So Katie, I will take the second question to Adam, and you can take the second question to Liz so you can kind of get caught up. So Adam, I wanted to talk to you because it was really, when I saw your video that you submitted and you talked about this being a 2-time college dropout turned CEO of Remax. So how has your personal journey shaped your approach to leadership training, and how will that be reflected in your show? Because I think, you have a very polished setup. Like when people see you for the first time, when I saw your video, I was like, man, this guy's got it together. But that's behind the scenes story of 2 times college dropouts, kind of intriguing. So how will you reflect that and draw people into your show?
Great question, Jeff. I mean, the reality is we all start from a certain point in life. We've had our struggles, we've had our challenges. A lot of people don't know what those are. Mine was I got out of the military. I got into law enforcement. I was a police officer and started attending college. And I'm like, this is not for me. I had an entrepreneurial bug. I continued in law enforcement. I became a SWAT team commander, but I also started 2 companies. And I was broadcasting these different aspects of my companies out there via newsletters at the time because it was free internet. But ultimately, it came down to my transition is the same transition that a lot of people are going through. They're trying to figure out, how can I make it bigger than what I am? How do I realize my potential? And I didn't notice that until I got a mentor. And that mentor started mentoring me to say, hey, grow in these aspects of your business. That's really what a lot of us are looking for. There's mentors, there's coaches, and there's masterminds. And what that does is that helps us uncover those uncommon things that we all have that can help us contribute greater things to society and greater things to our lives and our families, frankly. So ultimately, what I went from was this struggle of being a 2-time college dropout. I burned out a few times in my jobs. I mean, life is tough, let's face it. And we all have mental health challenges. And I was able to determine and employ these different human skills of leadership that I shared with others to not just build my own leadership and my own career to get better, but to help other people around me get better. Leaders are supposed to replace themselves with other leaders. Where do we find them? We have to help them find themselves by encouraging them with daily and weekly emails or leadership statements or things that they can share that resonate with them that others can duplicate in their lives, because we mirror what we see other leaders doing. You have a bad leader, you become a bad follower. We've all noticed that. So let's all become good leaders, pushes the bad leaders out of the way, turns us into A players in our business, and helps us build other A players. So ultimately, it goes from our struggle to climbing that mountain and finding our successes and helping others do the same. And it's through daily and weekly small tasks. If you miss one, that's great. They come back around, But ultimately, it comes down to it's a constant reminder for us all being better and being happier.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
So
it.
why don't you, I think we're on for Liz, her second question there, Katie.
Yeah, this is my favorite of the questions, actually. So you mentioned that many creators dread email marketing. How do you plan to change up that narrative and make it more fun and approachable for your audience?
Yeah, so email marketing, it's the bane of every marketer's existence. I know Ecamm knows this because they work directly with creators, and usually, their advice is go to Liz Wilcox, right? She'll be the one to help you make money. So, first and foremost, I want to, bring a very simplistic approach to creators on how to get email marketing done. There are lots of email marketers that will teach you a lot of really convoluted and very strategic but very complicated strategies that the creator who's just trying to grow their show or make a living with digital products or maybe even a service provider, we don't actually need. And so I really, in the show, I mentioned having, I forgot the name of it because I was so nervous, but really having a hot take of the day every single day. And most of them will be, you don't need X, you don't need Y, you don't need Z. Here's what to do instead. So, really putting that simplistic approach at the forefront of every single thing that we do and teach is how I envision making sure that people, turn the tide from, oh, I hate email to, oh my gosh, maybe I can do it. Wow, with this daily content, I'm getting a daily reminder to do it. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, wow, it's working. I'm growing. I am now a creator for life.
Mm. Okay, cool. All right, Katie, I'll let you, since I went twice, you can go twice too. So you can ask.
Yes.
I know, you're ready.
Thank you. I'm ready. All right, over to Adam. You've successfully combined leadership principles with teaching at the University of Denver. What are the most critical leadership skills you plan to cover in your show, and why are they crucial for today's business environment?
Great question, Katie. Well, first of all, let's start with emotional intelligence. The key aspect that we have is interpersonal communication. I mean, business is people. People is business. It doesn't matter if there's technology behind it or what. The reality is we need to connect with others in order to build that trust and do business with them. So that's the first aspect of leadership that we always focus on. Secondarily, we need to get into how we clearly communicate with people. What words do we use? Are we talking to a board of directors? Are we talking to an executive? Or are we talking to an employee or a customer? Understanding the different voices of a leader is a big aspect when it comes to delivering proper communication. And we pay a lot of money to copywriters, but ultimately as leaders communicate poorly. We need to teach them better. And then I love the Ecamm concept because ultimately, how do we get our voice out there as a leader? Not enough businesses, not enough executives are using live broadcasts in order to deliver the culture and the values of their organization. I teach a course on executive presence, understanding gravitas, communication, appearance, how to set up your studio. I've got a great video out on YouTube on how to set up your studio for these calls in order to do this type of communication and delivery, because we have to communicate with all those different levels of people. So that's just a snapshot of some of the things that I regularly talk about and teach these students. One thing I did find out, people are afraid of video. We have to help them get over that fear so that they can truly show their leadership presence out there instead of being afraid of the camera and what's on the other side of it, because people want to see them soar. They want to see them perform better. And I think once we build that confidence, you had mentioned in the green room about the imposter syndrome. We can get over that and help people actually be better presenters, better on stage, better on camera, better in person for those face-to-face communications through some of these aspects.
Awesome. Yeah. So, that's really cool. And one of the things, I'll save it for later, but I want to jump to Liz because I have a great, from my friend Pat Mills, who is watching. She has this great point, and I was going to ask this question of Liz as well, but I thought I'll bring up Pat's comment because she goes, Liz, do you think every day might be too much for people to join in? And so will they feel behind if they have to miss a morning or two? And my question was like, that's a lot. Like a daily show, like I wake up every Friday going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But a daily shows a lot of commitment. It's going to be hard to be consistent. What say you to that, Liz Wilcox?
Yeah, I agree. That's why I need Ecamm's apprenticeship to keep this thing going, and I need a team in order to do this. But I agree with Pat. It is a lot and people will feel like they are missing out, but that is by design. What we want, I think, within this apprenticeship is a show that people will watch over and over and over again, and that will grow as quickly and as best as possible. So by design, if we're doing daily shows, I believe that when you miss a day or two, you're going to come back because the content will be so good, will be so actionable and so fun, and also so darn reassuring that you can do this thing, that you're not going to want to miss an episode. What content creator doesn't dream of someone, having their show in a daily routine? And with email, the previous question was, how are you going to make sure that we do shift this culture into email marketing? One of those things will be to stay top of mind daily, so that also people will come back when they miss, to Pat's question, binge it, watch it, share it with a friend. Oh my gosh, this content is so good. Caldy, Marcus, Crystal, you have to watch it. I catch up on Saturdays, because it's this 30-minute show. Sometimes I don't have time for it, but it's so good that I spend my Saturdays mornings catching up.
Awesome. So we have probably time, I think, Katie, for one more question each. I've got mine for Adam. You can find one for Liz.
All right.
So this is the one I think I'm going to ask Adam. So you mentioned, training 1 million leaders through your show. And the question that I have is, how are you going to measure success in reaching your goal? So what milestones are you going to set along the way? How can, what are you using to track your progress? Because that seems like a big, hairy, audacious goal, I think is what they call it. So what are your milestones for that? Oh, and he's frozen. Oh, at least he froze. So he froze it in a nice. He's making me
feel better about my internet.
Yeah. I always have a funky face. Like never do I look like that.
Like take a headshot.
Like a statue.
Like
a statue.
I'm always or like that. That's with me. Never like that. All right, you go with Liz. If Adam comes back, we'll get him then.
Awesome. Well, okay, Liz, this is my pick from the questions. You mentioned a desire to have a sound booth aesthetic for the show. What impact do you think this visual element will have on your overall experience, and how do you want to bring that to life with our help?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. Y'all, yes. my backdrop is lacking. Okay, it looks terrible. This is why I need Ecamm's help, first of all, just for the visuals. Like, I'll bring the content, y'all bring the aesthetics and the production, and it'll be a match. But I love that, so the email sound booth, right? When you are in the booth, you're having fun, you're creating something of value, right? My brand is already very music themed, and I'm sure there's people in the comments right now that will tell you that's what attracted me to Liz Wilcox, right? So it's also very intentional, right? I know email marketing is this thing that feels hard, that feels like a knot you're never going to untangle. But if I can somehow make it fun, make you relaxed, make you feel and think outside of email marketing, that's where the music piece comes in. That's where, it looks like I'm in the booth with Liz. We're vibing, we're jamming. This is a jam session, so to speak. When people are jamming, they let their guard down. It's not this, oh my gosh, I have to do this. They let that imposter syndrome go. They let that perfectionism go. And it's like, well, we're just making music over here. We're just having fun. So I think the aesthetic, the naming of the sound booth, etc., is really going to help to answer all those questions Katie and Jeff have already asked me about. How are you actually going to do this? Part of the branding and the musical branding is, really designed to help let your guard down, have a little fun, and give it a try.
Very cool. Adam, I think are you back? Oh, he's back.
Made it back.
Okay,
Adam's
good.
making me feel better about my dropout. So
I
thank
know.
You, Adam.
So
I appreciate that.
it's live video, folks. Okay, Brandon Joe said it's the solar storm effects.
It is. It's because we're all, we enjoyed the solar storm last night, but now we need to.
That's what we're saying. So, Adam, I don't think you got my question, so I'm going to ask it again. This is kind of like the final one before we kind of wrap things up. But you mentioned in your video you want to train 1 million leaders through your show, I believe, is what it was, and my question would be like, how are you? That seems like a big, hairy goal. Like, how is your milestones? How are you going to track that? And like, how are you going to lead the audience along that journey? Like, is it going to, when you get 500,000, you're going to celebrate? I mean, what are your plans on how to move your audience with you through that process?
I love that question. I mean, ultimately, we all know that a business needs 1,000 true fans. So what you do is you get leaders building leaders. Realistically, it's not that difficult to track in this day and age through open rates, views, impressions, things of that nature. We get a lot of those metrics digitally already when it comes to our social media broadcasts, our email marketing campaigns, as well as our video views. So we do keep the metrics on the number of people that I do touch currently when I do a broadcast. I have a podcast. I have weekly emails that go out. I also have videos that are posted throughout the internet, longs and shorts. But I haven't been doing lives, and I really want to do those again. I was doing lives. I did 41 weeks of straight lives once a week called Mind Body Business during COVID, and I was able to track all of those. It was amazing. I did a 30-day and a 60-day live challenge where I did 30 days straight. I did 60 days straight. That was amazing also, and we're able to track all those through the social media metrics. Yes, you have to celebrate milestones. I have a producer, and he does a heck of a job, and I want to celebrate with him. I want to celebrate with all the people that do this, but ultimately it comes down to leaders will build leaders. And what we're going to do is we're going to encourage people to help each other building leaders, because you at your job, you should take these leadership points and share them with your colleagues. What's that do? That makes you a leader. That's how you work your way up in an organization, is by influencing others to solve problems, implement a culture, design values, and get those out there. It comes down to, let's measure our metrics and let's tweak those things. Ecamm, need you guys. You've got best practices for this. That's why this is such a great partnership. Let's take this leadership training, the best practices of how to do these lives, and let's see what kind of impact we can make on the leadership out there. But ultimately, it comes down to, yes, we have to watch our metrics. I'm a data guy. I love it. And we will make those tweaks along the way in order to maximize it and celebrate.
Awesome. All right, Katie, we're about down to the wire. So we talked about having each one of them do a 60-second elevator pitch. Do you want to do that to wrap things up, or do you have any other questions or comments?
They kind of covered that at the beginning.
That's what I thought too, but I didn't know.
I've been loving the comments. So Rich and Andy both said that these both sound like absolutely incredible shows. So I just want to say again to both Liz and to Adam and to the other 3 finalists, you have all made this so incredibly difficult. So we're gonna take back all this information and rewatch these videos and review all of the proposals again. And we'll be making this final announcement live from our Creator Camp event, which is happening next week. So Friday the 18th is where our big announcement. So I just thank you from all of us here. And thanks to Jeff for allowing me to put him on the spot for this pop-up screen test. But we really appreciate everyone. And it's certainly going to be a program that we will be doing every year, because it's just been such a wonderful experience getting to connect with people. So thank you to everyone that applied and hung out and watched and has helped us judge. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's been amazing. You guys have been awesome. And this will be available for replay. So if you came in halfway or missed it and you want to see that, and you can also go, I think, when did Anna and Fujin's do theirs? Is it yesterday?
It was Monday. This week has been really busy. It's there. It's on the Ecamm YouTube channel and is available for everyone to take a look at again. And certainly if you're, so this is a judged competition. So we are looking at feedback. So we see your comments and everything that you've been saying, but we have a panel of judges that are reviewing for the final decision. So feel free to send us any feedback that you have if you're watching and you want to get your vote, but not really a vote in. We're happy to take that feedback. It's, as I said, it's going to be hard, but thank you so much, Adam, and officially welcome to the Ecamm fam. You had said that you've only been part of this community for a few weeks. I'm just so thrilled that you jumped in. And welcome back, Liz. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. So thank you so much. Don't be nervous. Shake it off. Everyone has been saying how incredible you are in the comments. So yeah, you've got this.
And all the submissions were great. Such a wide breadth of shows. It's going to be really, really hard. But the 3, you can go watch the 3, as she said, over on the ECAM channel, on YouTube channel. And if you came in halfway, you can watch it on the ECAM YouTube channel. These 2, because they had good things to say. And like you said, this is going to happen next year too. So
they really
take
did.
some pointers. Yeah. So
they really did.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks to the fam for hanging out with us. Thanks, Adam and Liz and Jeff. And yeah, we'll see some of you at Creator Camp next week or upcoming in the next couple of days. And everyone else, we will see on our next shows.